Da 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 do 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 da da. Manchester City have gone trophyless. When last? When bloody last? Whoa! Big up, Crystal Palace. Big up, Crystal Palace. Before I get to Manchester City, let's talk about Crystal Palace. The Emirates FA Cup champions of the 2024-2025 season. What a team. What a team performance. What football. Did I need to remind you that Crystal Palace conceded just, guess how many goals throughout the course of the FA Cup? Guess how many goals? Crystal Palace conceded just a lone goal. Uno, not due. One goal throughout the course of the FA Cup. I remember very well, there was a point in the season where same Crystal Palace in the Premier League went 7 games without conceding a goal away from home. I'm not saying home games, all games. I'm saying Premier League, and not just all games in the Premier League. Away games. Oh my days. Do you know what it means to go 7 games in the Premier League and not concede a goal away from home? That wasn't too far ago. Just a month or over a month ago. The team has been performing very well, pretty well. They've been on the ascendancy. I personally can testify to that. When Crystal Palace came to Emirates Stadium, they played at 2-2. They bowled at 2-2. And don't get me wrong, yeah. They could have won the game. In fact, they had a chance at the dying minute. They could have won the game. They played absolutely well, at the Emirates Stadium. Played very well, got the 2 goals. Of course, Arsenal went, I think, 2 goals ahead or something and dropped the points. But that wasn't because they were poor. That wasn't because Arsenal went 2 goals up not because Palace were poor. They were really, really playing all right. Absolutely playing all right. And they got their 2 goals back. I remember Edin Ketia was really, really on fire in that match. And I get to that, if this game would have gone otherwise, I would have really, really been on the coach for subbing Mateta out of that game for Edin Ketia. Yes, you can bring Edin Ketia here, but not for Mateta. Mateta was holding all the ball, all the hold-up plays and all of that was really, really giving the defenders tough time. Akanji and them man was giving them tough time, and you take him off for Edin Ketia. I don't see how that really, really worked out or what he thought. But credit to him in the end, it worked out. He's won the FA Cup, so I can chat to him right now. But if it has gone the other way, I mean, he definitely would have come under scrutiny because of that decision, But let's get back to the goods. We're not here to talk about anything wrong of Crystal Palace. The manager's done an absolute brilliant job, taking play. And don't forget, they started the season very poor. In fact, they were very low on the table, and in the second half of the season, Palace began to put themselves up very well. I can remember the last time they had an embarrassing game was against Arsenal in the FA Cup and the Premier League. I think there was that time when Arsenal played Crystal Palace consecutive matches, the Premier League and the EFL Cup, where Gabriel Jesus scored a hat-trick. He scored a total number of 5 goals in those 2 games in 1 week. And that was when, after that game or something, he went straight to injury. But after that Arsenal game, Crystal Palace has come back so strong in every sphere. Defensively, let's chat about Maguire. Guehi, that guy is solid. You see that guy was winning every every area ball against the strikers, against Haaland, against Mamouche, against he was winning every area ball. In fact, the defenders were absolutely on smoke. They were absolutely on smokes. I'm not surprised. I absolutely am not surprised. Like getting to know like Crystal Palace considered just a lone goal all competition. Like I'm not surprised at all. The defense, the defensive work they've been doing has been really, really brilliant. They've been brilliant up front as well. Mateta has been really, really brilliant for the team as well. Of course, he was out injured for a while. The team still, went on and performed until he came back into the team again and steadied the ship. It has been wonderful, and I mean, everybody in the team, the coach, the everyone, the players, everyone deserves loads of credit and congratulations. I'm gonna hear this one. Like Crystal Palace automatically earned a place in the Europa League playoff for next season, so they automatically qualify to play in the Europa League playoff for next season by winning uh, the Emirates FA Cup this season. So it's a brilliant job. Kudos to Crystal Palace. Congratulations and enjoy your wins. I'm really really happy for you. I supported you all the way. I really really wanted Palace to win against Aston Villa. I wanted them to win. They did that brilliantly, 3-0. And against City, I was really really hoping like this whole experience thing doesn't count for Manchester City because I know the team is crap. Now let just get to Manchester City. That team is dead. Phil Foden, the heir to the throne. This man, he understudied David Silva. Underst- he literally understudied every great midfielders you know at Manchester City, except the likes of Kolo Toure. I don't know. I don't really have the details. But he understudied everybody down to De Bruyne. Now De Bruyne is passing on. Who's the heir to the throne? Mr. Nobody. His name is Mr. Nobody because that man sucks. He just had this one season English players. I don't really know. Like, yeah, you just go season in, season out, one season in, one season out. I don't really get it. 2 seasons ago, you were balling up player of the season, and then a season later, you're crap, and you keep on depreciating, descending. Absolutely, you're not crescending, you're descending, man. You are bloody descending. What's going to be the fate of Manchester City's midfield post Kevin De Bruyne? Kevin De Bruyne, upon his poor form, age, and everything, his heart, already is away from Manchester City and everything. He was still the best player in the team. He was still the best player. Oh my God! Now De Bruyne is going to go. Gundogan is going to go. You know what I mean? Maybe one or two other players is going to leave the team. Who's Manchester City going to bring in to come and level up the team to what it used to be? Forget about the FFP or whatever. Like this team ain't coming back. Forget about it. Before Manchester City comes back to the limelight again, it's going to take them no less than 3 years. And that's what it takes. Like when a generation, like a certain generation of team, fades out, it's pretty difficult. Absolutely difficult to build another. So definitely leave it the next 3 years. They're not coming. You're not seeing City at the limelight. You're not seeing City at the limelight. Just take that. Absolutely take that. These men are dead. They are dead in the bin. Without a good midfielder, Haaland doesn't function. Mamouche is not a midfielder. That guy is built for a striker. He's been used in that position. Basically, he should be the kind of football he plays. He should be playing as a number 9. But he's not built for. He's not built for that number 8. So Yeah, there are talks about Wirtz and all of that. If Florian Wirtz comes to Manchester City, yeah, he's a quality player, good player, I really like him. But can he foot the bill of the Manchester City midfield to steady the ship? Now, the answer is no. The answer is no. So it depends. Manchester City must, go out and do a crazy thing, a madness thing, for them to be able to come back and challenge. And guess what? They can't because they spent 180 mil in January. So then they don't have that financial position or that financial capability to go out and spend. Especially the way players are so expensive in the market these days. Every good player to go cost no less than 80, 100 million. So it's going to be very, very, very difficult situation for them. Oh my God. Once again, congratulations to Crystal Palace, and let us move to the games of the weekend. Of course, let's head straight to Arsenal. But before we go to Arsenal, there were two games. Two games were played last night. Um, Chelsea were at home to Manchester United, winning 1-0 against Manchester United, and Aston Villa were home as well to Tottenham, winning 2-0 against Tottenham. These two teams, these two away teams, Tottenham and Manchester United, played the early games because they have to play the final midweek on Wednesday next week. So, let's talk about that game a bit. That game, Tottenham, after I've said it before, I actually want Tottenham to win that league. Even as an Arsenal fan, I actually want Tottenham to win that Europa League. All because I feel like my concern will be for Manchester United, because Manchester United is the rival I know. They are the rivals that I know. If Tottenham wins the Europa League, for me, aside the community, in North London, I don't think it means so much to the rest of the world. But if Manchester United go on winning, it begins to say something. They are playing crap and winning cups. It begins to say something to me, to everybody. I don't want them to win it. I don't want them to win it. If Tottenham wins it, Newcastle have won a trophy in over 60 something years. Bologna have won a trophy in X years, like tens of years, whatever years. Crystal Palace have won the first ever major trophy. So what's wrong with Tottenham winning the trophy within in 20 years or in 18 years? What's wrong with that? Let them win it. So but the problem is that team stinks. They are smelly. The kind of football they're playing is absolutely shocking. When I watched that game yesterday, I wasn't surprised at all. Even Aston Villa was really, really not on they were absolutely below par. They were not on their game because maybe they were feeling like, even like, what we're playing this game for, even if we played and qualify for the fifth position, we'll still be knocked out of that position because obviously someone is going to come and win the Europa League and displace us. So like, they were not on it, but still these guys were still crap. They were still crap. United, Manchester United and Tottenham, these two clubs are really crap. But in the other game, anyways, Manchester United actually played, better. They played a lot better than Chelsea. I just don't know how Chelsea got to win that game because everything then looked like it was going to be a United win, but you know actually Chelsea found their way. They found their way, won the game 1-0, and they moved back up to the third position on the log. Aston Villa currently fourth. Well, of course, City, without playing the game, still fifth on the league. I mean, as sixth on the league. Of course, we have Newcastle third, Chelsea fourth, and Villa fifth. So it's going to be it's going to be very, very interesting. The games this weekend is going to be really, really interesting. How the games between Arsenal and Newcastle pans out, the games between City and who pans out in midweek, and also how Nottingham Forest, Nottingham Forest, of course, if they win their game this weekend, it's going to really, really decide a lot of things. So these teams, Newcastle, City, Nottingham Forest, Arsenal. These games are really, really, really crucial. Remember, Arsenal are yet to qualify for the Champions League. I mean, that's funny, isn't it? But I think even with a draw against Newcastle, Arsenal will qualify for the Champions League, but it's not the qualification that's the matter for now, which we are going to get into that now. Now, what does this game mean? Arsenal versus Newcastle United. What does it mean? It's really appalling to be thinking like 2 games to end of the season and we are still talking about Champions League qualification. It's really, really appalling. 14 draws in the season. 14 draws. It's really, really disappointing. We've had a really, really disappointing season. For whatever reasons, those things may be, we talk about them. We'll get into the details. But we'll just focus on just this game alone for now. What does this game mean? I know people are really off the whole thing, like yeah, nothing really concerns because we're not playing for any title or something, no trophies or cups this season anymore. Definitely we're gonna qualify for the Champions League, but this game, can Newcastle United finish above Arsenal on the log? Because if Newcastle gets to win the next 2 games, it means they qualify above Arsenal. If they win the remaining 2 games, which is against Arsenal and whoever, I don't really know, it means they qualify above. They top Arsenal on the log. That's going to be horrendous. Like having Newcastle coming from nowhere. There was a point they were far on 7th position or something on the log, and all of a sudden they've climbed, up to 2 points off Arsenal on the log, which means if they win the game, they go 1 point above Arsenal. This is shocking. This is absolutely shocking, and that's the reason why. I know people like saying finishing second doesn't mean anything or something. Yeah, it means something. Finishing second means you are knocking on the door. And if you don't know about that, go ask Liverpool. Because Liverpool done that years after years after years. Finishing seconds many times. Watching Manchester City pick up the Premier League trophy for 6 years in 7. So what are you saying? So what's my saying? We're knocking on the door. But when it came to their time, they went on and took it. So you have to be there knocking at the door. So for that time, when the door opens, you grab what you want. Finishing second will be a morale booster again, into the next season, for whoever will bring in, any strikers will bring in knows his duty is to take the club from second to first. You understand? So that's going to be the whole aim of the team. I don't want any forward and backward step. Arsenal needs to maintain that position, and that's the reason why they must go out and win the game tomorrow. I don't really want to draw because it is the last game of the season, and of course, because of the way Newcastle really, really dealt with Arsenal this season, won the both legs of the EFL Cups before going on to win the trophy, and also won I think the Premier League game. I think they won that as well. Of course, they won a 1-0 away with a very, very poor 1-0, I think, back in October. A very, very poor performance from Arsenal in that game. Newcastle won that game at their ground, you know what I mean? And so definitely losing 3 times in a season to Newcastle, you can't afford to go lose the 4th time to them. So Arsenal definitely has to win that game for the fans. It's going to be the last game, and of course, the shirt, the 2025-2026 jerseys out as well. They're going to be wearing. They're going to be wearing that kit in that game. Of course, it's a tradition. Like it's a day. It's it's a day you come back. The players need to show character. They need to come out and put all the performance, try to win the game, and of course make it a good uh, uh, farewell. Bidding good farewell to the season, anticipating. What I mean, a very big summer. What I mean. They try to bring that striker that's going to really come in and change the game. You know what I mean? But what we can discuss about now is the game at hand, the next game, which is against Newcastle. I understand Havertz is back. Yeah, I don't know, but that really got me thinking. If Havertz is going to come back now, 10 days before now, we had the Champions League semi-final. If Havertz is ready in 10 days, why can't he feature in that game? A game that we were lacking, we needed goal and we were bringing in left backs. If Havertz is going to be fit in 10 days, why can't he feature in that game? It's end of the season. Even if he gets injured in that game, it's absolutely not needed. But why can't he sit on the bench and try to come off the bench for at least 30 minutes or so, instead of bringing in left backs to go and score a goal in the Champions League semi-final away from home? So those are the things. It's really appalling. We are definitely going to talk about all of these things, but yeah, it is what it is. This particular video is specifically meant for Crystal Palace winning the FA Cup, and of course to tell you lot that yeah, you don't have any choice but to go out there. Arsenal, I'm talking to you. You don't have any choice but to go out there and win the game. And I'll see you guys lot soon.